Hey everyone, Happy New Year's to y'all. It is so good to be here with y'all this evening. My name is Paul Murphy. I am one of the physical therapist assistants at Barkman Smith Physical Therapy. I'm going to introduce you to our guest in a moment, but right now I just want to take the time to apologize ahead of time if this thing goes wild and crazy as we talk more with our esteemed guest, Mr. Alton Stockton. I would like to encourage you to go back and check out our previous recorded videos uploaded after this live stream. Kaylee Nichols, PTA, discussed the role of modality interventions in physical therapy. She talked about the benefits and uses of modalities such as hot packs, cold packs, and electrical stimulation. So tonight, we will continue with our series, Get to Know Your Therapist. We started this series last year in an effort to help clients learn more about their providers here at Barkman Smith Physical Therapy. Please feel free to put your questions or suggestions in the comment section that you'd like to know about me once we get rolling. We appreciate you for all your support on our Facebook live stream. Let us know if you are watching the replay as well. So, I've been looking forward to introducing this gentleman sitting beside me. I just wanted to start out by saying thank you for your time and effort being with us this evening. Everyone, this is my guy, Mr. Alton Stockton.
Well, it's great being here tonight, Paul. And I've been coming to Barkman Smith for about, 2 years. And you're one of my first therapists that we work together.
Yes, sir.
And so it's been a pleasure working with you. It feels like I've made a lot of strides with your help with my progress rehabilitating my leg.
Thank you.
So it's been great. It's been fun. We always have a lot of laughs together when we work out. You're always very attentive. You're always pushing me to take that next step, go further. And I think that's one of the reasons I am where I am today, because of you and your efforts.
And I'd also like to thank you and to say it's been an honor for not just me, but for all the staff on the front office, the back office, the therapy staff, the clinician staff. It's been an absolute honor being able to serve you, and not just you, but in essence your family as well too, because the better you are, the better you do, the more functional you are, the more you're able to go out and enjoy yourself and be normal. It's a great honor to be able to serve you in that regard. Thank you.
You're telling me I'm normal? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, you are.
Okay, well, thank you.
Even though we might find some people online that might disagree with us at this point in time, but I'll let those people speak for themselves later on.
One thing that Paul and I have in common, we have one very good thing in common that most people don't know about.
We're both born February 6th.
So what you might say is we're brothers from another mother.
Well, we could say that.
Okay.
I reckon you'll be my light side and I'll be your dark side.
I think we're going now, so we ought to get to the questions, I would think.
No.
Okay, first question is, what is your favorite thing about working in physical therapy?
I would say my favorite thing about being in physical therapy is being able to interact with people of all different walks of life with different functional deficits, and being able to connect with them, gain their trust, and provide interventions that are meaningful and beneficial to them as well as their families.
One thing I've noticed when I'm working with you is that as you're very intent on what you're doing with me, you're also intent on what's going on around in the room. So if something goes off or if you see something different, you're always getting someone not to take care of that issue. So you not only are you working with me very well, you're also attentive of what's going on in the room itself around here. So obviously everyone would like to know, where did you grow up?
So for those of you that know me, my background starts in a small rural town in Jamaica, St. Andrew, to be exact, Parks Road. It's in the parish of St. Andrew. My avenue is called Cushney Road.
Cushney?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the fifth of 5 boys born to Derek and Beverly Murphy.
Okay.
And I moved here in August 20th, 2000 to start college at University of Texas at Arlington. I've been through a few other schools, including Paul Quinn College in Dallas and Sam Houston State. But my alma mater is actually UT Arlington, and for my PT assistant program, it's Tarrant County College in Hearst.
Okay. How often do you get back home to see your family?
Usually about, I'd say once or twice a year. Normally for just to visit my brothers and check in on my mom, especially since my dad passed away about 4 years ago. So it's always a good, trip when I go back. I go visit his gravesite, go visit my mom, go visit my brothers, and kind of get a little bit grounded again.
Does your family want you to do some physical therapy on them when you're down there?
No.
Okay. You just take off.
It's absolutely off the menu.
Okay. What is your favorite hobby? What do you like to do when you're not doing physical therapy?
I like driving. I like driving old, classic cars. There's something real relaxing about it. Just very, very relaxing about it. It's old. It's rusty. It lacks all the creature comforts. It lacks all the safety equipment, and it just kind of clears my mind when I'm able to drive down the highway at 50 or 60 miles an hour and just kind of, gain a different perspective on life and what the past has taught me and what the future might have in store for me.
Okay. Now, Bertie tells me you have quite a few antique cars or older cars. How many older cars do you have?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. More than 5?
Plead the fifth.
Okay.
Is that because your wife doesn't know how many cars you have?
No, my wife is a part of this too.
Okay. Well, just tell me, just give me one of your older cars. What's your of the many cars you have? What's your favorite car?
Ooh, that's like asking me to choose which one of my. It's like me asking you which one of your kids is your favorite child.
Both of them.
So I really enjoy my Mustang. It's
okay.
The one I drive mostly as a daily driver, but I really do enjoy the classic 57 Chevrolet.
Okay, good. Now, you have a favorite food, I think I hear from time to time, and you like ice cream.
Yes.
And what is your favorite brand of ice cream?
Rum Raisin.
Favorite brand?
Häagen-Dazs, Rum Raisin.
Okay. And at a sitting, how many pints can you go through at a given time?
It depends on what kind of mindset I'm in.
Okay. A very happy, free set mindset, how many would it be?
I'd say at least 2-3 pints a day.
Okay. Now, do you share that with your wife?
She doesn't eat Häagen-Dazs Rum Raisin, but she does enjoy cookies and cream and chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay.
Those are her favorites.
So probably when the grocery store see you come in, when Häagen-Dazs is on sale, they kind of just wait for you to load the cart up and go up there and check out?
I think they moved the freezer section around.
I like that. As a health care provider or a therapist, what favorite part of your body do you like working on?
The mind.
Okay, and how does that fit into physical therapy?
It controls everything else that patient does.
Okay, and how do you get into the mind of someone?
Let them tell you a little bit about themselves, what their specific needs are, what their goals are, specifically what they would like to achieve from this patient-clinician interaction. And from there, you can discern what their level of motivation is and areas that you might be able to encourage or motivate them so that they can achieve their functional goals by the time that they're done. But I think the mind is a very powerful tool in terms of healing.
Okay.
So it's important that we address that part of it to be able to effect changes across the musculoskeletal system.
Okay. Say you have a client that isn't really into it. How do you get that client motivated to do the work you want them to do? Well, what tricks do you use?
Sometimes I just have them look around the room.
Okay.
And take stock of all the other patients that might be in the facility, some that might be far advanced, some that might be on the lower side of things to start off with, and to give them some sort of perspective as to where they are, in that they understand that I'm not at the highest level, but I'm also not on the lowest level. I'm somewhere in between,
Okay.
but with the help of your therapist, their skill sets, their years of experience, that they too can, you know, transition to a higher level of function by the time that they're done with their treatments.
Okay. I know when you have worked with me, you have pushed me pretty hard to where I'm at that level that I don't think I can go further,
Mm-hmm.
but you always seem to push me further.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
I wouldn't say I do anything in particular. I would say it's just getting the patient to believe that they can.
Okay.
Because I can take you there, but I can't force you past a point that you specifically don't want to go to. So I think it's more about developing trust
Okay.
between the clinician and the patient, so that, you know, yes, you feel like you're being pushed beyond your limits, but you trust that your therapist isn't going to push you to the point where you hurt yourself or there is some sort of exacerbation in terms of your overall condition, which makes that patient want to go that extra mile and reap the rewards at the end of it.
Okay. Very good. Question is, why did you become a physical therapist assistant?
Whew, that's a long story. So, after I graduated from UT Arlington back in 2007, I was quite unsure about what I wanted to do in life. There were many ideas floating around, and I applied to physical therapy school. I did get accepted, but then there was an issue with, you know, financing my school. I was still considered an international student at the time. It was really hard to get the funding. Well, it was next to impossible to get the funding because nobody wants to loan an international student thousands of dollars with no guarantee, no assets,
Sure.
nothing in return.
Right.
Other than, you know, my good word that I would pay it back at the end of my time in school.
Mm-hmm.
So I reluctantly had to give up my PT acceptance with Texas Tech and applied to a school in New Mexico. I got accepted there, and then I got a letter from the school saying I could no longer attend because the Department of Homeland Security said I couldn't attend the school because they had an aviation program and a water treatment program. So I ended up not going to school in New Mexico. I then enrolled at Tarrant County College in Hearst, and I was accepted to their PTA program, which I was able to complete successfully and transition from there.
Okay. Last question I got for you is, what are your long-term goals?
I would say my long-term goal is to grow my theoretical and practical skills to continue to serve the patients and clients of Barkman and Smith as long as there's life left in me.
Okay. And I got one last question.
You did say that was the last
I know,
one.
but I lied to you. I'm sorry.
You can't make your mind up now?
I can't. This is fun. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. But let the folks out in Facebook Live, what is one little unknown fact about Paul Murphy that no one really knows? What might that be?
I'm a prankster.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
And give me an example of a prank.
I like to dismantle Kayla's desk
Okay.
the day before I go on my day off,
Okay.
which is usually a Thursday, so she suffers through Friday. I take the batteries out of her mouse, I take the USB port out, I tie her sweater into knots.
Now, what does she do to get back at you?
She usually engages the brake on my desk, which forces me to dump my computer on the floor once or twice.
Okay. Okay. It looks like we have some questions from the live stream audience. What do you miss most about Jamaica?
My family.
Okay.
Yeah, my family has always been a very close-knit family. My dad and my mom and my 4 brothers, and you know, the fact that we can't get together as often as we would like because we're in different parts of the world. 2 of us are here in the US, 1 is in London, 2 are in Jamaica. You know, that's That's the part I miss most is the family getting together.
Are y'all able to, once a year or every 2 years, everybody gather together and get together for a family reunion?
Usually weddings or funerals.
Okay. You have one coming up?
My brother's getting married on the 5th of August this year. My
Cool.
oldest brother, Patrick.
Okay. And where does he live?
He lives in Jamaica. He's a high school teacher.
Okay. So y'all will go down for the wedding and all that kind of neat stuff, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Second question is, what nickname have patients given you?
I'm going to just go directly to you, Mr. Stockton.
My favorite nickname for you is the Pooh. The Pooh Bear, you know. So, I mean, I think that kind of explains it all, doesn't it? You care to comment on that?
No. No.
Okay.
I've also been called Honey Hands.
Yeah, honey hands? And why is that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Maybe it's my gentle approach to the way I interact with patients in terms of, manual therapy.
Okay.
I think that might be the main reason for that particular nickname.
Do you think your hands are like honey? Smooth like honey, or what?
No, I just think a more gentle approach to manual therapy is essential in being able to get people to relax and to trust that you're not going to hurt them in terms of the interventions you're providing in terms of stretching. So I think a more general, gentle approach is good.
Okay.
Because you can always increase your input from there.
Right.
It's hard when you go too hard and then you have to step back. You kind of break that trust with your patient, so to speak. So I think a gentle approach is always,
Okay. Good.
the way I've always approached it.
Okay. How did you get your start at Barkman Smith?
I got my start at Barkman Smith in August 2007 when I walked in here in a full suit, and Vincent Smith and John had the biggest laugh. They're like, "Who does this guy think he is? Walks in here with suit and tie and jacket applying for a technician position."
Briefcase.
No briefcase.
No briefcase?
No.
You had a tie on?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you look
I came in
debonair.
here. I came in here properly attired
Yeah.
because you get one chance to make a lasting impression,
Right.
and sometimes your first opportunity is your
Okay.
last.
Right.
So, I try to make the best first impression I can.
Have you ever, leading off that a little bit, have you ever made a bad impression on someone and you said, "Oh, I've just blown it"?
Yes, but I have no comments on that one.
Okay. All right, next question. Have you ever met Usain Bolt?
Yes, I have.
Where?
I happened to meet Usain in 2017. It was around the same time that my dad had passed away, and everybody was kind of in the island for funeral arrangements. And I just so happened to go visit my old high school coach at the time, who coached Usain Bolt throughout his entire track career. So both my mom and two of my brothers and myself were able to kind of meet with him and take a couple of pictures and kind of chit-chat, catch up with my old coach and stuff like that, who I still keep in contact with.
Did you challenge him to a race?
No.
Okay.
Discretion is a better part of valor.
Okay. Question here, go back to that then, is, did you ran in Jamaica, did you break any records, or what did you run and how fast were you?
I did run. I started running at the age of probably about 6. At about the age of 10, people started to notice that I had a certain potential for chasing and catching people. And, it transitioned from there. I liked to run the 100, but I was a little too tall for it. So I started running the 200, and eventually I ran the 400, which was my main race.
Okay.
So I ran that all the way through high school and into college for 2 years, and then I stopped running track after.
Okay. I've been told down in Jamaica you're kind of known as the lean, mean running machine. Is that true?
That is not true.
Okay. I'm just rumors, and I just want to clarify them tonight.
That is not true. I can assure you. Jamaica has too many running machines there.
And you're not one of them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so Paul has superpowers in the clinic progressing patients. What superpowers do you have outside the clinic? This is interesting here.
I don't think I have superpowers at all. I just think each and every person has some God-given talent that
What-
they're supposed to use to benefit others. And
What might be
that's-
yours? What might be your God-given talent you think you have?
I think making a fool of myself sometimes, like right now.
You're not making a fool of yourself. Mercy.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I think it's reaching people on not just a mental level, but on different levels, so to speak.
Okay.
It's connecting with people. I think that's one of the things I enjoy most, is being able to connect with people from different walks of life, no matter what they look like, tall or short, slim or fat, don't care. Just being able to see them for who they are and appreciate who they are, respect who they are and what they're about, and treat them like a normal human being.
I concur with you. I've been coming here, like I said, for a couple of years, and as I watch, as you connect with people, you do connect with people very well, and you get into their mindset, and it seems like at no time at all you're their best friend.
I think for people to get the best out of their rehab experience, I think it's important to put yourself as a therapist in your patient's shoes, and get a real feel for what it is they're feeling on a given day, and be able to adjust accordingly, so that you build a rapport, but you also get to achieve those therapeutic goals that were set by the physical therapist.
Okay.
So,
Good.
unless you can get in somebody's shoe and kind of feel the
Yeah.
ups and downs that they go through
Right.
during the rehab process, I think it's really hard to get them motivated and keep them motivated to get them to that final goal.
But past experiences, it feels like when you're working with me, you're there. We're kind of, as strange as it sounds, we're one. We're
Yes.
working together. We're in unison.
Yes.
And you're pushing me, and we're going through this whole process.
Yes.
And it sometimes it feels like we're just one in body, one in mind going through this. You see that?
Yeah, that's because we're all God's children, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, one of our previous technicians, Brad, commented that Paul not only has a huge impact on patients, but on many technicians, interns, PTAs, and PTs that have passed through this Barkman Smith organization. What are your thoughts on that?
First, I'd like to say thank you, Brad. You should be studying. But I would say it's a group effort.
Yeah.
I think it's not just me as their supervisor or a PT assistant, but I think it's Ron, I think it's Vince and Mike and John and Peter, Chase, the office staff. I think everybody has a role in mentoring and nurturing the next generation of therapists. So I'm not going to take all of the credit. I'd say that credit is shared amongst all
Everybody.
the staff at Barkman Smith in helping to mold these new minds and directing them in a more focused way towards the field of physical therapy.
I think you have a way of keeping things light in here, but at the same time, it's a business, it's a serious business. So you kind of keep it, in my opinion, very well balanced.
I try.
Well, you do.
Some days are better than others, but I do sincerely, try to keep a more balanced approach to, interactions between the patients and co-workers and the technicians and just everybody in general.
Good. If you hadn't been a PT, what would you have been? A dancer or what kind of?
I don't know. I think this was what I was meant to do, to be honest with you, because I did try journalism. That's what I went to school for, and I thought of doing criminal justice for a while, but all the roads eventually led back to the field of healthcare and
Okay.
physical therapy specifically. So I think I was led to this position, so I will carry the mantle as long as I can, and represent myself, my family, and the entities that I work for, but most importantly, represent the patients as best as I can.
Okay. I know there are a lot of people I've talked to that have come through Barkman Smith that have had you, and all of them, without a doubt, have always said what a positive experience it has been working with you. So so I think you lead that. I guess we're kind of reaching to a point to where we're about done with this. We've run out of questions. I think the Facebook Live people, I guess we've worn them down.
And I know there was one person that had one last question. Would you like to go through that one, Alton?
I think it was more of a comment that was on there, kind of a closing comment.
It says, Paul has an equal ability to remember patients. He immediately recognizes patients from years ago and remembers something about each and every one. So give me a thought about somebody years ago that you kind of go, oh, that person, wow, I remember that about them.
I think there's so many patients that fall into that category, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like somebody's name is how they identify. And in today's day and time, you're a file number, a case number, a barcode, a phone number. I think it's really important that we address people by name, remember them by name, remember when we last saw them, what we worked on, just making them feel like they're human and not just a commodity, so to speak.
Yeah.
Names are how we identify. It's important to us.
Right.
So I've taken that to heart as far as being able to remember people's names when I saw them, or roundabout when I saw them, what we worked on, and so on and so forth. So that when they step through the door of Barkman Smith, they're like, wow, it feels like home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to a place for therapy, but I'm not only coming to a place for therapy, I'm coming to a place where the therapists remember who I am, why I was here, what my goals are, and they're excited to see me. They're ready to get to work to get me back to my full functional status again. So I think that's just, names are important to me.
Okay.
I think they're important to each and every person as well too. So I try to remember each person by name, or I just take a snapshot of somebody's face and store that in mind, and I'll say, hey, I saw you like 7 years ago, or 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, and they're like, oh, you remember? I'm like, yeah.
Okay. So really, if people want to remember something about Paul, it would be, you like old cars,
Yes.
you like raisin rum ice cream,
No, rum raisin.
rum raisin
Yes,
ice cream.
that's
Okay.
correct.
I'm thinking, I'm going through this.
Okay, yeah.
And one
Get it
other,
straight.
and one other thing, what would be that last thing they want you to remember you by?
Whew. That I'm all or none.
All or none?
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
My parents always told me things done by halves are never done right, so it's best to put your best foot forward at all times. Otherwise, just step back and leave it alone.
And your glass is always half full, it isn't half empty, is it?
It depends on what's in the glass.
Okay. Rum raisin ice cream.
I wouldn't put that in a glass. I'd just leave it in the pint carton.
Okay.
All right, guys.